Hello, you guys. Okay, so this is my second live for the day. It will not be as passionate as my last live, which got people so very tight. And I'm only doing it this way because y'all, I don't feel like pre-recording anything because it's a lot of work to pre-record stuff. And there's the editing, and then there's blah blah blah. Like it's just a long list. And so sorry, I'm looking at something. So basically, sorry about that. I just decided to just do the live this way because it's just, I mean, not do the live, do my commentary on this whole situation with Trump and the Democrats and their little meeting this way, just because I don't want to put the energy into pre-recording and editing and all that. I'm going to go ahead and play the most funny part of that meeting that I saw. Okay, you guys know that I'm not anti-Trump. Trump doesn't bother me. I like Trump. I like that he is honest. I way prefer having him than Hillary. So he doesn't bother me, you know, and honestly, the way he moves, it's like epically entertaining to me. I find the fact that the elite are scrambling to tear this guy down like a complete show. And I never get over it. I never get bored with it. With that said, what went on today was pretty pathetic. Like they were in there arguing like babies, like little kids. These are the people running our country. And they were literally in there acting a plum fool. And I was pretty horrified at the situation and the back and forth. I mean, it reached the point where they had stopped addressing each other and they started talking to the press as if the press was part of the conversation. It was just very juvenile. It was just very pathetic. It was extremely unfortunate, to say the very least. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. This live is not going to be super long because, to be honest, I want to make some oatmeal and do some online shopping. I'm trying to find, because you guys know I live by a flippin' forest. I'm trying to see if I can't get any farm fresh food or, you know, some delivery of groceries, something, because I live in the middle of nowhere. So we'll see. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you to the part of this whole conversation I found the most amusing and the most pathetic at the same time. And then I will tell you guys what I think of it. So here we go.
Frankly, some wall has been reinforced by our military. Our military has done a fantastic job. So the wall will get built, but we may not have an agreement today. We probably won't. But we have an agreement on other things that are really good. Nancy, would you like to say something?
Well, thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to meet with you so that we can work together in a bipartisan way to meet the needs of the American people. I think the American people recognize that we must keep government open, that a shutdown is not worth anything.
Now, I just want to say that she's so fake because she's like, I think we can work together in a bipartisan way. And then they're about to like double team him. They're about to all get into a big fight. So this whole like song and dance she's doing right now about working together in a bipartisan way is an absolute lie. It's just to kind of play duck and dodge for the foolery that's about to go on. But I think it's really cute that she tried it. She tried to put it out there like that's really what she came for. But that's not what any of them are there for.
And that you should not have a Trump shutdown. You have the White House shutdown. You have the White House. You have the Senate. You have the House of Representatives. You have the votes. You should pass it.
No, we don't have the votes, Nancy, because in the Senate we need 60 votes.
No, but in the House,
and we don't have.
You could bring it up right now.
Yeah, but today. But I can't get it passed in the House if it's not going to pass in the Senate. I don't want to waste it.
Well, the fact is, you can get it started that way.
The House we can get passed very easily,
okay,
and we do. But the problem is the Senate, because we need 10 Democrats to vote.
That's not the point, Mr. President. The point is that there are equities to be weighed. And we're here to have a conversation in a prayerful way. So I don't think we should have a debate in front of the press on this. But the fact is, the House Republicans could bring up this bill, if they had the votes, immediately and set the tone for what you want.
We thought we were going to get it passed in the Senate, Nancy. We would do it immediately. We'd get it passed very easily in the House. We would get it, Nancy, I'd have it passed in 2 seconds. It doesn't matter, though, because we can't get it passed in the Senate because we need 10 Democrat votes. That's it.
Again, let us have our conversation, then we can meet with the press again. But the fact is that legislating, which is what we do, you begin, you make your point, you state your case. That's what the House Republicans would do if they had the votes. But there are no votes in the House, majority votes, for a wall, no matter where you start.
Exactly right. If I needed the votes for the wall in the House, I would have them in one session, would be done. It doesn't help because we need 10 Democrats in the
Don't
Senate.
put it on the Senate. Put it on the negotiation.
Okay, let me ask you this, and we're doing this in a very friendly manner. It doesn't help for me.
See, he's trying, she's a woman, so he's like, we're doing this in a very friendly manner, but there's nothing friendly about this conversation. And it's right about this point where they all turn into 3-year-olds. You can see him over here. He's already taken the, like, I'm about to throw a tantrum stance. She's like, I'm not with this. I'm a little irritated, but I'm going to keep my composure. He's just playing tennis. He's like bouncing back and forth. She talks, he looks at her. He's just looking at everybody. He didn't say anything the whole time. They're about to go full on kindergarten right about now.
Need to take a vote in the House where I will win easily with the Republicans. It doesn't help to take that vote because I'm not going to get the vote of the Senate. I need 10 senators. That's the problem.
You have the White House, you have the Senate.
I have the White House. The White House is done. And the House would give me the vote if I wanted it. But I can't because I need, Nancy, I need 10 votes from Chuck.
All right, let me say something.
Let me just say one thing. The fact is, you do not have the votes in the House.
Nancy, I do. And we need border security. Nancy, we need border security. It's very simple.
Of course we do.
I'm sorry, y'all. They are really having a fight. This is a fight. And just because nobody hopped up and threw hands, they're going into a full-blown fight right now. This is so pathetic. The press is there. I mean, why even bother with the conversation? They know they don't like this man. They know that. They could just be like, we don't like you. We're not trying to build this stupid wall. There's no point in us all sitting here because you're going to say build the wall. We're going to say we hate you. And we want to do anything other than give. Because here's the thing. There's no harm in building the damn wall. Put the wall up. Like, what's the problem? The problem is that they don't like him and they're hoping to impeach him. So they're really not trying to do anything because they're just buying their time until they can get him thrown out of office for having sex with a hooker and then paying her off so that she wouldn't be a distraction to his campaign, which is very petty. Like, it doesn't help their cause any. It doesn't help their cause at all. Because if they had something better on him, trust me, he would be impeached right now. They wouldn't hesitate. They'd have the cuffs on. They would have him in prison if they could. They can't stand him to save their life. But it's so cute how they're fighting.
We need border security. People are pouring into our country, including terrorists. We have terrorists. We caught 10 terrorists over the last very short period of time. 10. These are very serious people. Our border agents, all of our law enforcement has been incredible what they've done. But we caught 10 terrorists. These are people that were looking to do harm. We need the wall. We need, more important than anything, we need border security, of which the wall is just a piece. But it's important. Chuck, did you want to say something?
Yeah, here's what I want to say. We have a lot of disagreements here. The Washington Post today gave you a whole lot of Pinocchios because they say you constantly mistake how much the wall is built, how much of the wall is built, and how much is there. But that
Didn't I tell you that he was a child? So they gave you a lot of Pinocchios. I mean, what is this? They're running the country. A lot of Pinocchios. What kind of language is that? But he was just waiting to get his little chance to get in and throw a fit.
That's not the point here. We have a disagreement about the wall, whether it's effective or not on border security, but on the wall. We do not want to shut down the government. You have called 20 times to shut down the government. You say, I want to shut down the government. We don't. We want to come to an agreement. If we can't come to an agreement, we have solutions that will pass the House and Senate right now and will not shut down the government. And that's what we're urging you to do. Not threaten to shut down the government because you let me just finish. Because you can't get your
The last
way.
time you shut it down,
Yeah, let me say something, Mr. President. You just say my way or we'll shut down the government. We have a proposal that Democrats and Republicans will support to do a CR that will not shut down the government. We urge you to take it.
And if it's not good border security, I
It
won't
is
take
very
it.
good.
And if it's not good border security, I won't take it.
It's what
This is like a YouTube panel. This is like when I'm on O'Shea's stream, he's like, too many niggas, too many. But people are just like over talking each other and cutting in, but like they're running our country. And it's just three of them, y'all. It's just three of them here. So imagine how divisive this whole situation is between the parties on when we consider both the House and the Senate. It's just absolutely ridiculous. We can't run the country like this. They're all in their feelings, and their personal feelings against the president are messy. And while we literally have people jumping over the border to give birth to anchor babies, and we have them storming the border where they have to be tear gassed, and we have California trying to make illegals be able to take offices, like elected offices, while we have all of this foolishness going on, they're sitting there talking about Pinocchio and cutting each other off over a topic where they could just say, okay, well, obviously there's no need to have this meeting. Now, mind you, this is not the meeting. This is just them talking before the meeting. But if you can't even just be in front of the press for 15 minutes, how are you going to come up with anything in an actual meeting? Like, why bother? Because this isn't even the meeting. This is just them letting the press step in and have something to and get a few sound bites. And they go in there and they start fighting with each other. It's pretty pathetic.
When you look at these numbers of the effectiveness of our border security, and when you look at the job that we're doing,
you
with
just
our
said it is
military,
effective.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, you just said it's
Without a
effective.
wall, these are only areas where you have the walls.
We want to do
where you
this.
have walls, Chuck, it's effective. Where you don't have walls, it is not effective.
Yeah.
Let's call a halt to this. We've come in here, the first branch of government, Article 1, the legislative branch. We're coming in good faith to negotiate with you about how we can keep the government
Open.
We're going to keep it open if we have border security. If we don't have border security, Chuck,
I'm with you.
we're not going to keep it
I'm
open.
with you. We are going to have border
And it's the
security.
same border. You're bragging about what has been done.
By
We
us.
want to do the same thing we did last year, this year. That's our proposal. If it's good then, it's good now, and it won't shut down the
Chuck,
government.
we can build a
But that's
much
it.
bigger section.
Let's
with
debate.
more money.
Let's debate in private. Okay? Yeah, let's debate in private.
Now, mind you, listen to this. Nancy started out saying, oh, well, we're all here to come to a peaceful, bipartisan, we want to work together, BS. He just said, let's debate. And what is a debate? In a debate, the goal is not to come to a middle ground with people, right? In a debate, you're just there to present your position as strongly as possible. So we know what the mindset of the left is. They just want to debate. They're not there to work together. Everything she said is BS, okay? Because he just said what it is. Let's finish this debate in private. Let's go in private and fight about this. Let's go in private so we can tell you how we're not about to do anything bipartisan, because we're not here for that. We're just here to present our position. We're not here to reach a middle ground. Compromising, he didn't say, let's go compromise in private. He said, let's go debate in private. And that's why I'm not with these shenanigans and games. It's fanfare. And they know when they started throwing their tantrum and getting emotional and double teaming our president, they knew what they were doing. And Trump is not the most eloquent in speech. I mean, there must be something what he could do like behind the scenes mentally, but he's not doing the best at presenting his case. But who can present anything in this sort of situation? Because they're just fighting back and forth. They're just going back and forth. They are literally like children.
Quite frankly, the fact that
We need border security. I think we all agree that we need border security.
Yes,
Is that
we
right?
do.
Good.
We do.
See, we get along. Thank you, everybody.
Say border security and the wall. Can you have border security without the wall?
You need the wall. The wall is a part of border security.
What it means to have border security.
Yeah,
Yes.
we need border security. The wall is a part of border security. You can't have very good border security without the wall. Just
that is a political promise. Border security is a way to effectively honor our
And the
responsibility.
experts say you can do border security without a wall, which is wasteful and doesn't solve the problem.
It totally solves
But
the
I don't
problem.
want to take this.
And it's very
Unfortunately, this is spiraled down when we came at a place to say, how do we meet the needs of American people who have needs? The economy people are losing their jobs. The market's in a mood. Our members are already.
Well, we have the lowest unemployment that we've had in 50 years.
60 people of the Republican Party have lost it after losing their offices now because of the trend.
Now, mind you, nobody even spoke to them. They asked the president a question. He started addressing the press without even looking at anybody. She's gone into a full speech. And mind you, she's a little tight because she was unopposed for her position, but nobody really wants her there. People are over her. So she's in a weird position anyway. We can't listen to anything she has to say because she's in self-preservation mode. She's not going to be the speaker for very long because nobody even wanted her. The only reason she even has her job right now as speaker is because nobody went up against her. But mark my words. The next time around, she won't be in her position, and she knows it.
Transition. People are not. The
And we've
morale
gained
is
in the
not.
Senate. Nancy, we've gained in the Senate. Excuse me, did we win the Senate? We won the Senate.
When the president brags that he won North Dakota and Indiana, he's in real trouble.
I did.
Let me say this.
We did win
Let me say this.
North Dakota
This
and
is the
Indiana.
most unfortunate. We came in here in good faith, and we're entering into this kind of a discussion in the public view.
But it's not bad, Nancy.
No.
It's called transparency.
I know it's not transparency when we're not stipulating to a set of facts, and when we want to have a debate with you about saying we confront some of those facts.
You know what? We need border security. That's what we're going to be talking about, border security. If we don't have border security, we'll shut down the government. This country needs border security. The wall is a part of border security. Let's have a talk. We're going to get the wall built, and we've done a lot of wall already. It's a big section. It's a big part of it. It's a big part of it. We need to have effective border security. We need a wall in certain parts. No, not in all parts, but in certain parts of a 2,000-mile border, we need a wall. We are doing it much under budget. We're actually way under budget on the areas that we've renovated and areas that we've built. I would say if we got $5 billion, we could do a tremendous chunk of wall.
Is there any way to accept less though, and or your guests?
Well, we're going to see. We're going to see. Look, we have to have the wall. This isn't a question. This is a national emergency. Drugs are pouring into our country. People with tremendous medical difficulty and medical problems are pouring in many cases, it's contagious. They're pouring into our country. We have to have border security. We have to have a wall as part of border security. And I don't think we really disagree so much. I also know that, Nancy is in a situation where it's not easy for her to talk right now. And I understand that. And I fully understand that. We're going to have a good discussion and we're going to see what happens. But we have to have border security.
Mr. President, please don't characterize the strength that I bring to this meeting as the leader of the House Democrats who just won a big victory.
Elections have consequences, Mr.
Let
President.
me just say.
And that's why the country's doing so well.
What the president is representing in terms of his cards over there are not factual. We have to have an evidence-based conversation about what does work, what money has been spent, and how effective it is. This is about the security of our country, to take an oath to protect and defend. And we don't want to have that mischaracterized by anyone. And
I agree with it. No, I agree with it.
So let us have a conversation where we don't have to contradict in public the statistics that you put forth, but instead can have a conversation about it.
I'm sorry. I am telling you, she is so very, can I be cool for a second? Shady. She really is. I don't know. This is so priceless to me. She goes, let's have a conversation where we don't have to contradict your stats in public, basically embarrass you in public. She's like, we don't want to embarrass you openly, is what she's saying. They're just talking so much mess. This is the most polite and completely rude fight I've ever seen. It's so disrespectful. like just on all sides. It's so childish and disrespectful. You would think they were in a threesome together and they were just all lovers. It's just so disappointing. Like I would vote. We just need to like do clean house. You know what I mean? We need a clean house of all these career politicians. We need to get rid of them because they're pretty pathetic.
What will really work, and what the American people deserve from us at this uncertain time in their lives.
One thing I think we can agree on is we shouldn't shut down the government over a dispute. And you want to shut it down. You keep talking about it.
The last time, Chuck, you shut it down.
No.
And then you opened
20
it up very
times.
quickly. And
20
I don't want to do what you did.
20 times you have called for, I will shut down the government if I don't get my will. None of us have
You
said
want to know something?
You've said it.
Okay, you want to put that on
You've
my
said it.
I'll take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'll say? Yes. If we don't get what we want, one way or the other, whether it's through you, through a military, through anything you want to call, I will shut down the government.
Okay,
absolutely.
fair enough.
And I am
Disagree.
proud. And I'll
We
tell you what,
disagree.
I am proud to.
I know Pitts is a mess. He's playing like hockey. He's looking like between the fighting. He's like, oh, over there. Oh, over there. They are so pathetic with this. Like, I am sorry. And you guys know, I do not dislike Trump. I don't dislike him. I feel like I just like that he says whatever is on his mind. I wish everybody in politics would just speak their minds as openly as our president did. It would just be so much more easy to know what we're working with and where things are going. But I cannot with this. And the way that they're bickering like lovers. It's so childish and immature. And they're doing it in front of the press. They have no chill, no restraint. Nothing's going to get solved. And they're trying to shame. And you know that, here's the thing. I know that they don't want to solve anything. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Trump is very bullheaded. He is very, very bullheaded. And, well, here's the thing, though, right? Zero, I believe that the Dems and the Republicans are part of the same coin, right? But I also believe that Trump is trying to crawl his way up the elitist ladder. He's making alliances with other elites that have been the black sheep of the elite committee. And he's not staying in his place and playing the game the way somebody, not in our government, because this is beyond our government at this point. There's some person, ultra rich person somewhere in the world who's used to pulling strings. And Trump, he is power hungry. And he's trying to make alliances and do things for the betterment of himself because he knows the game is power. And that is why we see in the media them going so hard for him. It's not that they have a problem with him as a person. It's that he is trying to make moves that nobody is approving of. That the person who wants to be able to call the shots and has been calling the shots, they're not rocking with it. And Trump knows that he can maneuver his way if he plays his cards right. This is not about us. This is not about the country. This is a bunch of elite people trying to crawl over each other. And everything that happens is collateral damage. Like, let's be clear. Everything that happens is collateral damage. Nobody gives two craps about the common person. Like, nobody's worried about that. But this behavior is hilarious because here's the thing. He knows that Trump is going to just shut the government down. If they can't stop him, he will just do a government shutdown. They know this. And they know that by pressing him like this publicly, they're wanting him to snap. That it's going to make him, he's bullheaded. He's not gonna do what anybody wants him to do. He's gonna do what he wants to do. Even if what he wants to do is wrong, he's gonna do it because you're not going to bully him into anything. And they know this. So they are really playing him. He's letting himself be played. But they're making it known. Now, see, oh boy, he's playing games right now because he really doesn't care about shutting down the government. And Trump is calling him on that. But that's why he keeps cutting him off because, you know, it's all a bunch of shenanigans. It really is. It's all a bunch of foolery.
shut down the government for border security, Chuck, because the people of this country don't want criminals and people that have lots of problems and drugs pouring into our country. So I will take the mantle. I will be the one to shut it down. I'm not going to blame you for it. The last time you shut it down, it didn't work. I will take the mantle of shutting down. And I'm going to shut it down for border
But we
security.
believe you shouldn't shut it down.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Nancy, you saw Nancy. She's like, wait a second. No, I have more to say. I want, right after she was talking about, let's take this mess into private so we don't have to embarrass you. You see, she was putting her hand up like a school kid. I told you, it's 5th grade. She's putting her hand up like a school kid. Well, no, I have one more thing to say. Anyway, y'all. So let's very briefly talk about this because that was just absolutely hilarious to me. Really, really hilarious to me. And yeah, I will say that. Here's the thing is that he doesn't play polite. I'll agree with you. He opens up about how he moves. And he knows that because in the world of politics, everybody plays pretend and nice and games. He embarrasses them by pointing out obvious things that normally they wouldn't say to each other in public. The thing is that they're just buying their time to rip him out of office. They have tried everything. They've tried everything. They've tried turning people against him. They have tried dragging him. They have tried, hooking him up with white nationalist organizations. Trump was like, he's a nationalist. But then he had the Black Republicans come in. I mean, somebody in the comment section called him a chameleon. He is a chameleon. Because think about this, y'all. He doesn't like identity politics, but he had the Black Republicans there. The young Black Republicans there. But he doesn't like identity politics. The thing is that Trump doesn't care. All he cares about is obtaining power and ruling with a strong hand. I'm not necessarily against this because I like the enemy, you know. I don't trust, like the thing with me about the Democrats is that they're very fake. You know what I mean? They're very fake. They play a lot of games. They're going to talk about border security when we know that they love an illegal. They won't even call them illegals anymore. And they want to make this whole conversation as if it is about border security, but it's not about border security. For Trump, it is about exacting power because he's president and he's sick of their games. For them, it's about they don't like Trump because they care nothing for border security. If they could, they would just let every illegal person just hop in this country and have babies and give them passports. Passports. give them visas. They don't even care about that. But what they care about is they don't like Trump. That's what they care about. Yeah, I say shut it down too. Let's play chicken. Let's play chicken. I find it amusing. I find it amusing to watch them. They amuse me. I think, though, Trump, I'm very disappointed in him. I'm very disappointed in him. Because the one thing I liked about him is that he was sticking and he was moving there for a minute. And I was so entertained by it. I mean, I really was. He was so real for a minute there. I couldn't even take it. I was so amused. I was tickled pink. I was making all these videos about it because it was so amusing. But they've subdued him a whole lot. They really have. And now nobody cares about running the country anymore. They only care about power exchange. It seems to be the theme of the world is power exchange. There's a flux going on right now, people. There's a flux going on worldwide. There are lots of bids for power throughout the world. We see this in France. We see this in the States. We see this in South Africa. We see this all over the world. It's in flux. Now is the time. I'm telling y'all. Now is the time to make power grabs because everything is in flux. Everything is in flux. And I don't know, that's just some food for thought, you guys. I'm not going to stay here and carry on about this, but I'm telling you, the spirit of the age is power exchange. I'm telling you right now. Everybody's off balance right now. Everybody. Our government's off balance. The European Union's off balance. The United Nations is off balance. Everybody is off balance right now. And there are power grabs going on. There are. This is the perfect time to restructure. It's the perfect time to restructure. It's the perfect time to develop the country and the government that we want to see right now. While everybody is fighting and bickering. You know, while the husband and wife were fighting, the robbers came in and stole the TVs and the jewelry. And do you know what I'm saying? While they're fighting, while they're distracted. They're distracted. Are they two parts of the same coin? Yes. But they're distracted in their bid for power. They're not watching the people anymore. They don't care about the people. See, normally they're obsessed with keeping the people calm and sedated. But they're off their game right now. They're off their game. They're not watching. They're not watching. They're very distracted by all these little civil uprisings. They have the little people, the little guy all over the world acting a fool. And then the powers that be fighting amongst themselves. It's a lot of chaos. But see, in the midst of chaos and pandemonium, that's when you can come in and take cookies out the cookie jar. After everybody looks up from their fight, their fist fight, they'll look around them and find that they are the oppressed. Do you know what I mean? So it's a good time for it. When I was like, do the assignment on power exchange, like that was a real thing. To know what that feels like in everyday life, to know what that feels like, and to know that you can implement that on a bigger scale. So this is very interesting to me. It's very amusing to me. Yeah, say shut the government down. Why not? Why not? Why not? Do you know what I mean? We need to make the people uncomfortable. Because as long as the people are very comfortable, they can engage in this foolery and nobody's going to care. But let somebody miss a meal, not be able to fill their tank up with gas, have trouble paying the rent. That's what's happening in France right now. They want to make it like it's about oil, but it's not about that. There's a whole list of stuff that the French are mad about, a whole list. So let them neglect the little guy. Let them do that. Let them get caught up in their bid for power and neglect the little guy. That's the best thing we could have happen so that people will come out of their stupor. They're too distracted right now. They're too comfortable. That Snickers they had this morning has them calm. That car they filled up this morning has them chill. It's well that too, Letty, but also the people that are on retirement, their retirement money is not enough for them to survive in the French economy. There's like a whole list. There's like a long list of things that's going on in France that's a problem. The thing is that we have a lot of those problems here in the US, but with all the social safety nets and credit cards and television and all these things to kind of play buffer to reality, it keeps people very cool. But let them shut the government down. And you know, Trump is very stubborn. This could be a real government shutdown. You know, we play with government shutdowns here in the States. This could be for real. He's stubborn and they really don't like him. And it could be the best thing that could happen. And, you know, Trump has no chill. So a lot of things may not fly. You know how sometimes they make a few little protections when they do a government shutdown. He might just be cold-blooded with it. I hope he's ruthless. Because that'll get people involved. That'll get people involved. Yeah. That's the same thing that's going to go on here. That's why Social Security is a joke. With that said, you guys, I'm not going to make this super long. Like I said, I was just trying to be lazy and not have to not have to record anything. But like I said, the climate is ripe in the world right now for power exchange. The climate is ripe. It is ripe. So we have to be watching. We have to be watching. We author, right? The country is ours. And so I think that with these career politicians and with this stuff that's going on, like there need to be changes made. And not the Ortiz kind of changes. Like she's freaking crazy with her crazy eyes and stuff and these fantasy ideas, like not that weird kind of change. But effectual change. I did a video on healthy power exchange a few days ago, and it had an assignment in it. And it talked about how you engage in power exchange on a personal, corporate, and national level, what that looks like. And so if we can't engage in that in everyday life, it's hard for us to do that. You know, we have to handle the little stuff before we can handle the big stuff. We got to move quick. We have to move quick. We really do. I'm not sure if I'm going to move my South Africa video to my Patreon or not, you guys, because I already had, like, the first people to comment under that video were white people. I already have white people under that video, and I don't mind. I actually have subscribers that are white, that I know are white. I know this. And I don't mind them coming to my channel. I don't mind having them as subscribers. Like, it's not a problem for me. But I know that every video I've done on South Africa has just brought so many racists to my videos. I just don't know that I feel like dealing with that. I might have to pull that video from the public sphere and just leave it on my Patreon. I'm not sure. I'm like really debating on it because I feel like it's important. But we're down in the comments. And Sunshine, I'm fond of Sunshine. She's sweet. She came over from Brother Sanchez's channel, but I feel like whenever you engage in a conversation and you don't stroke the ego of whites, and everybody knows I'm not anti-white, but I feel like if you don't do ego stroking, then they accuse you of not liking them. And so that's unfortunate. That really is. And not all, as the idiot Jesse Lee Peterson says, not all, but most. No, don't bring that in the house. It is a wasp's nest, but okay. Make sure there are no bugs in it. My daughter's just found a wasp's nest. Go outside and be sure before you bring that. No eggs. I don't need any larvae in here. So with that said, why do they care? They care, Letty, because and what they were trying to do, and this is the game. I might do a whole video on this. I might do a whole video on the games people play when they don't like your mindset to get you to change your mindset. They start insulting your intelligence. They start insulting your delivery. They start playing victim. They start all these things. It's games that people play to intimidate you back into conformity. But see that if I choose to conform or be submissive, it's always a choice for me. I'm not going to be bullied. I might make the choice because I find the choice to be pragmatic. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to be bullied into it. I'm past that stage. You might get some submission out of me, but that's because it's advantageous to me or it's pragmatic for me to do so. Because it's not always good to lock horns. But they care because they didn't like what I said. They said I was defending him and all of that, but I wasn't defending him. I was saying what it was. I wasn't going to let him be misrepresented, and so that is what it is. They call me a hypocrite because I said we shouldn't get involved with Palestine, but I chose to make commentary on South Africa. So they're like, oh, you're hypocritical. But that's not going to work with me. I said we shouldn't get involved with Palestine because I didn't think a black man should have been up there trying to make petitions using the black cause as an example for freaking Palestine. Do you know what I mean? I speak on South Africa because we can't see that misrepresented, and we face the same sort of pushback here in the States. It's like when I made that video on racism, a lot of the people in the comment section are white. They don't comment on my videos unless I talk about something that makes them uncomfortable. If I bring up slavery, if I bring up South Africa, things like that, and not white people, racist white people. Sometimes they meet themselves. They don't even know they're racist until they watch a video or hear a commentary they don't like. Yeah, Zero, the pre-recorded videos, I can't. It's too much work. So with that said, I'm going to get out of here, you guys. I found that whole situation with Trump and Tweedledee and Tweedledum very amusing. And I think we have to start thinking critically because there's going to be an upset of power. I think it's time that we start thinking critically about what we're going to do as individuals, right? Because individually we make moves for collective change. So I think that that's very important. And we see they're coming, in the words of beautiful Omarosa, who I'm not really with, but she is fine. They're all coming unhinged. They're scrambling. And so while they're distracted, oh, I'll have to see your video, Dark Prophet. Well, he does have the right to be irritated, right? Because they've been trying him. They really have. And I don't care who he paid off. I don't care what whore he paid off. Like, nobody cares. They're so desperate. It's pathetic. I don't care. Yeah, Omarosa is beautiful. She's beautiful and she's very clever. She's with the mess though, but she is stunning and she's sharp. That is for sure. So I don't know that Trump likes feminists. I'm not sure. I don't know that he does, right? Because I know he likes women in a submissive position and he has a certain view of women. Connor, what man hasn't paid off a whore? I hope. I hope a lot of men haven't paid off a whore. I know some men that wouldn't touch a whore. Exactly. That whore has nothing to do with politics. They want to make it about politics. I don't care who he had sex with. I mean, I don't approve of him cheating on his wife, but what do I care? What does that have to do with anything? I don't care if he paid somebody off to shut up so she wouldn't be a distraction. And honestly, I don't think him paying her off helped his campaign because I don't think anybody cared. People disliked Hillary so much. She was doing too much. Hot sauce? She was an insult. She was so insulting. And I don't like her husband. So they're making it like if he hadn't paid off those prostitutes, something would have been different about the election. No, nothing would have been different. Nobody likes her. Okay? She's not a likable individual. And her husband is a disgusting person. So most whores are feminists. Yeah. Being a whore is subjective? Possibly, Connor. It is subjective. I'll give you that. Yeah, she was tripping. Hillary, I'm mad. She treats us like we're stupid. That's why I can't with Hillary. I cannot. I cannot with Hillary. Because she thinks being insulting and treating people like children, that's when you know somebody's an ardent racist. Is when they think treating the people they look down on like children and like their IQ is 20 is going to work. So I'm going to get out of here, you guys. And I will talk to you guys a little later. I had a live scheduled for today. Obviously, that live's not going to happen because I think that live was scheduled for, let me look. I feel like that live was scheduled for like now. Let's see. I had a live scheduled for, I think it was on, oh, I can't remember. I have such a bad memory. It's so awful. Oh, that's crazy. Where are all my lives at? Oh, I can't see them. Oh, wait, upcoming. Okay, let me look at it. So I had collective delusion and mass confusion scheduled for today. And it was supposed to start at 3:00. But you guys, I don't know that I can come back and do a third live today. But I might because it because we are collectively deluded and massively confused. That we are. So I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. And yeah, real quick, type us who interviewed Nyla. We're curious. Bye, you guys.